Good morning, everybody. Today is a wonderful day. How are you doing? Did you rest well? I want to thank the host for giving me this opportunity to, discuss with you, to present to you, to talk to you about, to talk to you in a program quite powerfully themed, living significantly and thriving in uncertain times. Now, this session is aimed for the younger people, the future generation, the people that are going to take us forward into the future and, make a difference. So, without using up any more of our time, let's get straight into business. Now, today we want to talk about significant people, people that are significant, how to be significant as a young person, things you can do, changes you can make to become a significant person. And by definition, significance is to be sufficiently great, to be important or worthy of attention, to be noteworthy, or to have meaning. I will repeat that again. To be sufficiently great, to be important or worthy of attention, to be noteworthy, or to have meaning. Now, it's time for us to reflect. Based on this definition that I have given you, we need to ask ourselves, are we sufficiently great? Are we important? Are we worthy of attention? Are we, noteworthy? Do we have meaning? Cool. So now that we've, went through the definition of significance, here are a few things that we might need to know about significance. Now, significance comes in three major areas in our lives. It comes through first in our relationships, who we talk to, how we, treat others, how we relate to others, and, the majority of our social aspects of our life. It also comes through our systems and our beliefs. What do you value? How do you carry yourself? How do you live? Do you live in a productive and significant way, or are you just living average like everybody else? Significance also comes through in, it comes through most prominently in our achievement and our self-growth. And that covers the aspect of what are you doing with your life? What things are you achieving? What things are you doing? Now, significance incorporates time and the effective use of it, mind you, as well as talent, capability, and potential. Now, understanding this, let's look at some habits, some characteristics, if you will, of significant people. Significant people are successful, and there's no two ways about it. Success has many forms. Success has many forms. And depending on who you are, depending on what you do, where you work, success might have a different meaning for you. For me, success is doing well at school. For me, success is, making a difference outside of my school life. Success might mean something different for you, but everyone has their versions of success. But I believe personally, success starts with making a decision, making the choice to be different, making the decision that you want a change. And it continues when you put small goals into place, small goals that you incorporate every day to make these steps to being successful. And consistency with these small goals will move you onto the bigger goals, will move you onto the bigger, more harder, more difficult, more demanding goals that you have set for yourself. And success comes from pushing yourself to essentially do what other people won't do things that other people are afraid to do. Now, another characteristic of significant people is that they are interested in a better self. They are interested in bettering themselves, in making themselves the best that they can be. And the change that I mentioned before is key in the journey to becoming a significant person. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that is change is inevitable. Throughout life, we all experience change in some way or another. As we grow, we are changing. Your change might be moving from primary school to secondary school. Your change might be, moving to a different city, moving to a different area. Your change is particular to you. And the thing is, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to decision. You have to decide to make change good. And the question is, what are you doing to better yourself? What difference are you trying to make? What efforts are you putting in yourself without being pushed by anybody else? What efforts are you putting in yourself to make yourself better? A lot of people sit down and watch YouTube, watch all of these videos, they can sit for hours on end just watching YouTube, watching online on the internet, watching videos. But the thing is, what are you actually doing? What do you watch those videos and then actually go and act on it? Do you watch those videos and just sit down and think, okay, make the decision to actually do something with the information you receive? The information that you have, the information that you've been given, make use of it. Better yourself. Go onto YouTube, maybe learn a skill or two and apply those skills. Apply those skills in your life. And another question that I always ask myself when I want to, when I'm sitting down during the week and I want to better myself and I want to, make a change, I ask myself, how badly do I want change? How badly do I want the change? Because how badly you want the change it determines the level of, how do I put it? The level of zest, the level of passion that you put into what you are doing. And one thing that I personally like to do, I invest in, seminars, going to different meetings, things like that, to develop myself. I invest in motivational speakers, you know, people that people that know what they're doing, people that have been through tough times and are sharing their experiences with us. I also invest in, learning new skills, picking up new things that I can use to resources that I can use to better myself. Now, the next characteristic of significant people is that they never, ever, they don't hold back. And it is important that we understand, about holding back, because in life, in the journey of life, the only thing that is holding you back ever, realistically, the only thing that is ever really holding you back is yourself. Now, one thing I need to do to encourage us to do today is to not be afraid, to not be afraid to move forward, to not be afraid, to make a change, and to not be afraid to think big. I've had a few personal experiences myself, and I've had times where I've been afraid. I've been times where I've cussed myself because hesitance is one thing that compromises significance. It compromises success. When you hesitate, even if it's for that moment, you miss opportunity. And the beautiful thing is about opportunity is that you never know where opportunity can take you. You never know how much could come out of that opportunity, but by hesitating, by being afraid, by holding yourself back, you have essentially lost the opportunity. You have essentially lost all the success, all the reward that could have come out of that opportunity. And in life, it's important to understand that you need to make your moves. You need to make your moves. In this journey, you need to be Don't okay, so don't get me wrong here, but you need to be selfish in a way. Like let me elaborate on that. Me as a student, I realized recently that by the time, because I'm in year 11 now, so I'm at a critical point where I need to get all the help that I need to do the to produce maximally, to do the best that I can do. Now, you know, I'm not sure if any of you may have noticed, but in primary school phases and in the early stages of secondary school, they tend to give you all the help you need. They tend to give you all the resources you need, and that's sometimes sufficient. But the stage at which I'm in, I need more than what they're giving me in class, because to do well, you need to go above and beyond. You need to learn more than what they're teaching you in class. You need to push yourself harder than they tell you to. And one thing I realized, that even though we're getting to such a critical stage in our lives, they weren't. This is teachers that I'm talking about now. They weren't giving us extra stuff, pushing us to be, the best people that we can be. So I was sitting down one day and I was thinking about this, and I thought that, okay, so if they aren't going to give me what I need to do well, if they are going to hold me back by not giving me all the resources that I need to go and essentially take these things for myself. So that's what I started doing. I started emailing teachers. I started getting into the habit of asking for more stuff to do, because at the end of the day, you are a product of the efforts that you put in. So I began to put in more effort, asking for more work. I started, trying to find out what makes a great student, what gets people those top grades, because that's where I want to be. And I realized those people that get those top grades, that get what they want in life, they don't get it by sitting idly and taking in what is given to them. Because the thing is, I realized in school, everyone is taught the same thing. Everyone is taught the same thing, but yet people still come out with different results. People still come out with A's. There's still variation, in the grades that people get. And I was thinking, why is this? That's because people that are getting those top grades, they have arguably a better understanding. They are doing more. They are going beyond what is taught them in class, and they are doing extra learning. And by doing this extra learning, they make links and links and links and things like that. But that's just my personal experience with, being held back, because I want to do well. So I need to, push myself. Go and get those resources. Go and ask for that help. In fact, go and take the help that I need to do better. And one important thing to understand is that the world is at our fingertips. We have, thank God for phones. We have phones. We have all sorts of devices. We have all sorts of things that help us, that give us the ability to develop ourselves. And it is up to you to use them. It is up to you to make effective use of these materials and resources. Now, another characteristic of a significant person is that they are giant thinkers, not just big thinkers, they are giant thinkers. And one question I ask myself is, why would you limit yourself? Why would you limit yourself? You may look at it and think, oh no, there's no way I'm limiting myself. But the thing is, you are limiting yourself. The question is, why would you limit yourself? Think big, and push hard, push hard. And I was listening to, I think it was Billy Osbrooks on, I think, Wednesday earlier this week, and he was talking about, I want to believe we've all heard about the common phrase, thinking outside of the box. And now something interesting that he said was, people always tell you to think outside of the box. And then he continued to say that, why acknowledge that there is a box there in the first place. By acknowledging that that there is a box there to think outside of, you're effectively, how do I put it now? By understanding by acknowledging that there is a box there, you are essentially acknowledging that there are limits to your capability. So one funny thing that he continues to say that is that he doesn't think about it as there ever being a box in the first place. Because if you ever think about it, if you didn't know what limits were, you would never limit yourself. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, if by acknowledging that there is a box there, that acknowledging that there are walls, there are, that there is not unlimited space, you essentially accept that your potential is limited. I'm not sure if you're getting me, but that was one thing that I thought was quite interesting. Don't acknowledge that there is a box. Don't acknowledge that there are limits in the first place, and see how far you can go from there. And like I was saying, by essentially acknowledging that there is a box, you essentially put a limit on yourself, and that's where it gets troublesome. So I encourage you today to think big, think giant, make giant moves, make giant decisions, and then produce giant results. And yeah, I may have made it sound very simple. There are a lot of processes that come, as part of doing those things, but that's the process that we need. That's the process we need to go through. Think big. Once you think big, make big moves, and then produce big results. And when it comes to thinking big, thinking giant, you need to think about where do you really want to go? What do you really want to do with your life? What changes, what impacts do you want to make? What are you trying to do with the resources and the things you have? Now, another characteristic of significant people is that they invest in positive things. They invest in positive things. Now, investing is a skill that many people are actually yet to master, believe it or not. But one thing that I encourage you to do is to invest in positivity. Think. Now, not just think and say good things. If all you think, or if all you say, if all that ever comes out of your mouth if all that you ever do is positive, then I think you would agree with me that there should be no room for negativity. But people say that the mind is framed in a certain way where it focuses on bettering and correcting itself. But people always fall into the trap of thinking negatively, thinking, people always focus on what's not going so well in life, what they don't like, instead of maybe thinking about what is good, what is going well, the progress that they are making. And one thing that I was encouraged to do is to always think and always speak growth. Always speak, always talk, always, do actions that have to do with progress. That have to do with, making moves. And one skill that I picked up, during this lockdown was the ability to reframe things positively. Because even if your life isn't going great, if you know how to take that negative and switch around and make it positive, then you can go a long way in life. When people are telling you to stop, when people are telling you, when you're telling yourself to stop, when you're telling yourself that, I'm not good at this. One thing that they always tell us in school is to add yet onto the end of every, negative statement. I'm not good at this. They tell us to turn it into, I'm not good at this yet. And that's a very key skill to be able to analyze your weaknesses and put yet at the end of it. Have that yet mindset. And what is a yet mindset? Having that determination, having that belief that you can work hard at yourself to get to where you want to go, to get the results that you want. Instead of not being good at, I don't know, for example, not being good at maths, you add yet onto it. You work hard and then you get to the point where you are good at maths. You get to that point where you can, do things quickly. And another concept that I was looking at during the week is something called the placebo effect. Now, this is something that they talk about in medicine. We recently covered it in biology the other day. And the placebo effect is the idea that your mind controls how you feel. So say they're conducting an experiment, and what they did was they had two groups of people, and one group of people they gave the actual medicine to. They gave them the medicine for the current condition they were going through, and then the second group of people, they gave them what is called a placebo. So it doesn't actually have any effect or anything. It doesn't actually do anything to you, but the whole idea is that you think you are getting better because you have taken something. And that's how it works. By having that positive mindset, you can change how you view things. One thing that I tried during the week was to have a very positive mindset. I was telling my mom on Thursday, I had triple science that day, and because we're getting close to exams, people are worrying, people are saying all sorts of things. People are, oh, I can't do this, oh, my so and so is going to fail, and all of that kind of stuff. But what I tried to do that day was to put myself in a positive mind. I said to myself before I stepped into class that, okay, this is the class that I'm about to step into now. I am an A-star student. And it was as simple as that. That is the mindset that I carried with me into that lesson. So what happened was I said that to myself. I reassured myself, okay, I've been empowered by God to, sit in this lesson. Now I'm good at what I do. I understand this. I said a lot of positive things to myself when I stepped into that lesson, and I produced higher than I normally do. It's powerful. The mind is a powerful thing. It's crazy how the brain works. By just saying a few words to yourself, you can change your performance. You can effectively create an entirely new, different person just from the words that you speak to yourself. And I found out that day when I said those words to myself, I produced much better. I was able to, really think. I could answer questions that normally I wouldn't be able to do. But that's the message is thinking positively. It can change you. In fact, it does change you. It does change you. Now, the next characteristic of significant people is that they forget other people's opinions. Now. One thing we need to understand is that we literally cannot afford to let other people influence you. I mean, obviously, people that are successful and things like that, you can take from them. But what I'm saying is like, do not let the people that are working at the same level as you. Do not let them discourage you. Do not let them influence you in a way that will dissuade you. Because did you know that when you want to go big, when you want to think big, the first people to say, oh no, that might not be possible, are your friends. Your friends. The people that you surround yourself with, the people that the people that you chill out with, they are the first people to actively get in the way of your goal. You know, people place limits on you based on their own expectations of themselves. If they don't think that they can do it, they don't think that you can do it. What they don't understand is that everybody is different, and they place their limits on you, thinking that, you know, they can limit you, they can pull you down. They doubt you. They remind you that where you want to go is long and hard, and it takes this many years, and they push all of that stuff onto you to limit you. Like, there was one time I was talking to my friend, because when I was really young, I like to play basketball. I play basketball, and I was saying jokingly to them that, oh yeah, I'm going to be, I want to believe we all know who LeBron James is. Do we know who LeBron James is, right? We know who LeBron James is. And I used to tell myself, oh yeah. I'm going to be like LeBron James. I'm going to play in the NBA. And the first thing that, my friend, that person said to me was that I was being, the first thing that they told me was that I can't do it. Think about that. I had trusted my friend, somebody that's really close to me. Yeah, like, we chill. We actually play basketball together. And the first thing that they told me was that I can't do it. Instead of, because now, if I had to, I love my mom, I love my dad too. If I say that I want to do something, the first thing that they do is they talk to me. They say, okay, if you want to do this, let's put some steps in action. They don't tell me, oh, you can't do it. They don't tell me, oh, no, don't worry about that one. They say to me, okay, this is what you want to do. Let's put some steps in place. Let's put some things in place. Let's make some plans, and let's move forward to where you want to go. And if I'm honest, they are my motivators. They are they are my hype people. They are my motivator, because every time I want to do something, they push me to do it. And even sometimes the things that I don't necessarily want to do, they push me to do those things too, because they know if I do those things, I will benefit from it. They are not like my friends that tell me, oh, you can't do that one. Don't. The thing is, when you tell your friends things, at the time it will come across as a joke. You see, they will probably like laugh and things like that. Or say, oh, I want to be in the NBA. Oh. And little do they know, by laughing at your dreams, they're effectively discouraging you. By saying that it's long and hard, or you won't make it, they're effectively discouraging you. They may not know it, you may not realize it at the time, but when you think about it, they laugh at your belief. They laugh at what you want to do. They are discouraging you. Yeah, they are trying to dissuade you from where you want to go. They know that. One thing that I was thinking about is that people tend to make excuses. People tend to make, they tend to say things because they've lost their own ambition. They've lost the belief in themselves that they can do such a thing. That's why they laugh at you, because they couldn't do it. So they think, what makes you think that you can do it? And one funny, I was talking with my chemistry teacher actually just on Friday, and we were talking about, or was it my chemistry teacher? No, it was actually my phone tutor. We were talking, and we were talking about ambition, and we were looking at, when you are a baby, that's the best place to start. When you are a baby, when you want to decide that you want to walk, I want to believe parents can testify. When a baby wants to walk, they will stand up and keep on walking. They will not give up on what they want, because at the time they have not been programmed to know that there's a possible. I can't hasn't been programmed into their minds yet. So they get up, they fall down, they get up, they fall down, they get up, they fall, until eventually they learn to walk. And I was discussing this with my phone tutor, and we were saying that as we the sad thing is that as people grow up, the the system of I can't, it seems to become ever more present in their lives. When you are a baby, determination is your thing. You could try and you'll do loads of crazy things because you think you can do it. But as you tend to grow up, people tend to tell you that you can't do this, you can't do that. And a lot of people get to my age and have already given up on what they want to do because the system of I can't tells you can't do so. The system that says I can't tells you can't own that mansion. You can't live that life that you want to live. The system of I can't is what they're training you to believe. But you need to forget other people's opinions. They are jealous of the ambition that you have. They are jealous that you are still chasing after your dream when they gave up on theirs a long while ago. But the important thing is that we forget about what people are saying. We forget about what people are saying and we put to work the capability, the ability that we have. Now, another key characteristic of, significant people is that they are inventors. Significant people are inventors. Now, one thing that I discovered is that significance demands creativity. Significance demands creativity. People I'm at the stage where I'm looking to get, I'm looking towards that era of getting employed and getting a job and things like that. People, employers, big businesses are looking for somebody that can bring something new to the table. They're looking for people, young people that can make a difference, that can do something that nobody has ever done before. And that's what people like to see. Like even in the sporting world, when people were able to do things that people weren't doing before, people were amazed. That's what people like to see. They like creativity. They like something new. Have you ever wondered why you get sick and tired of eating the same thing every single day? Like, one thing I used to joke with my mom, and she used to tell me that I eat cereal too much, and that I get tired of it. And it's the same sort of thing here. If you keep on doing the same thing, you will get tired of it. Businesses are employing the same people that do the same things. And they might not say it to your face, but they are tired of it. They want something new. They want somebody different. And I believe that you can be that person. I believe that I can be that person. It's all about what you believe. It's all about creativity. Everybody is doing the same thing, but it's up